What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing today? Back at it. We are now mid-July and summer is definitely in full swing. We've got an update from the past couple of weeks. When we spoke last, I was getting ready to head out of town for kind of a 4th of July celebration. I planned before I left to do kind of a refeed free meal, and that was successful. I'll say that typically when I go out of town, if I'm not careful, a meal or a day turns into a week, and that's exactly what happened. Definitely kind of laxed on the eating, kind of being out of town, having to make those food decisions without having full groceries and a kitchen of your own to cook in. It definitely changes things a little bit. The good news is I feel like we haven't done a lot of damage. I feel like if you eat more foods and give yourself a little bit of a diet break, as long as you get right back on the horse, which could be different lengths of time for different people, that's going to make all the difference. Because from what I've seen happen in the past, if I do the right amount of refeed, even though I'll gain a small amount of weight, that weight quickly goes away, and then I feel a little bit more able to burn body fat. That could just be me, but I definitely get a sense of, that happening for me personally. So I had been down to a new low that Wednesday, which was 248.2, which that's a really good low weight for me. It's not my final weight by any means, but it got me lower than I've been in a couple of years. And overall, I feel like my approach is an improvement, over especially what I've been doing in years past. So had a great 4th of July experience, went out and did a number of things, had some different kinds of foods, the foods that I'm not really eating while restricting calories. I mean, quite frankly, if you go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you have some boneless wings, which we did, there's really not going to be a whole lot of wiggle room for your calories, especially being down low. So I have in the past tried to, if it fits your macros, my way to like eating what I want. It can be done successfully if you're eating small amounts of food. And in my case, if I want to have, for instance, 10 boneless wings and 2 Long Island iced teas, I can save you the time. It ain't gonna fit unless you're not having hardly anything else. And even in that case, you're really not going to be getting enough protein to hit your protein goals. So started a diet break, which I hate the terminology, but it is what it is. It's all about how you apply it. So lifestyle, diet, eating method, whatever you want to call it. Took a little break from about Wednesday to Friday of this last week, so it was a little over a week. And I will say that I did not go off the rails like I have in the past. Like, there was some ice cream consumed, there was different foods, like just pancakes or waffles or French toast for breakfast. Like, those are not usually things that I eat, and so it was a good change of pace. So I told myself what I was going to do was I'm going to weigh in, get a kind of a starting point on Saturday, like I do all Saturdays, and to see where I was. No surprise, there was 5 pounds of weight gain. The good news was it was like 1.4 pounds was lean body mass. So if you take the lean body mass out of the equation, which I like to, because I'll take all the lean body mass I can get, you're only looking about 3.6 pounds of fat or unwanted weight that was added. So over a week time, that's how I know that I was doing fairly decent, because it could have been 10, 15 pounds if I really just ate whatever I wanted to in whatever amounts. So I said, hey, we're going to get back on the horse. We decided that, the weekends I'm going to drop my calories down a little bit lower, because a couple weekends ago I was eating fairly strict, low calories on the weekend, like even slightly lower than I normally do. And I really either did not have any weight loss, or it was very minimal. And so I just decided that, eating this many calories on the weekend is probably not a good idea. So for me, up until this point, I've been doing, the 2,000 to 2,200 calories, like giving myself a little range and kind of foods that I want to target. But that seems like it didn't work as well for the weekends, because all of a sudden I'm gaining weight potentially over the weekend. And that was likely due to low step count and activity, overall, comparatively speaking to my week. So I'm back to weighing every day for now. We're going to do that until we really hone in and it's like, hey, we've got a handle on exactly what we need to do. No need to weigh every day. No need to bring on that little bit of anxiety, which I don't know if you've ever experienced weighing in or anything like that. There's a little bit of anxiety because you're just hopeful, but then you also worry about what could happen if the numbers don't go right. So since that time, we're talking Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so 2 days, I'm now down 4 out of the 5 pounds. So we're very close to being back to our low, and I still have 6/10 of that lean body mass that I gained over a pound, and still over half a pound is sticking around. So I don't expect that to be a long-term thing. I think that when you go back on lower calories, your body is using that stored energy in your muscles, and that muscle energy is stored with water. When you use it, you're dropping weight. That's a pretty simplistic understanding of what is actually going on. So I don't expect that I'm gonna hold on to that half pound, but if I do, great. So my goal is the rest of the week is to get to a new low, which will be great, because not only will I be making progress, but I will be overcoming that week of free eating, which can derail you 100%. So that's great news. We are, very close to where we were. We're feeling great. We had a great weekend. We did go to the zoo, so that's some extra steps. I mean, anyone that's from St. Louis, you walk around the St. Louis Zoo, the first time we did it, it was 10,000 steps total. That was from parking to and through the zoo and back. This past time, we did a same parking, but a little bit more walking, close to 12,000 steps. So for me to get 12,000 steps on the weekend, I know that I'm getting closer to the kind of calories I burned during the week. So that gets us kind of current. I also decided that since it seems like I need less calories on the weekend, I'm going to start using high and low calorie days. And simply put, we're still shooting for the same amount of average calories. Over the course of the week, if you divide all of our days, it's still the same. The difference being is during the work week, I'm giving myself some more calories to support that activity. I feel like even with more calories during the week, I can still lose body fat. And that way, when I get to the weekend, I'm going to go even lower calories than normal. That way, we kind of force the body to do what we want, okay? So it's going to look something like this. I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I, at this point, feel like using a little bit higher level technique with high, medium, and low days is going to work best for me. I imagine that this would translate pretty well for anyone that has a decent activity level during the week and not as much during the weekend. So for me, it's going to look like this. The main goal is still 2,200 calories. I'm shooting for 2,250, just as a kind of a, it's maybe a hair more, you know, than what we've been doing, but in the past I've always done, you know, higher caloric weekends, which we're literally going the opposite way now. So my goal is to make the weekend that's kind of usually a bit of a weak point, being, you know, where I would typically not lose weight or even gain weight in the past, to making that to where we're definitely losing weight. I mean, for example, this weekend I lost 4 pounds. Now granted, easier to lose weight when you have been consuming more calories, when you've been higher on the scale. So I was up 5 pounds. Well, it's no surprise I'm down 4 pounds. It's a lot different had you never gained that weight. So I will say that. So anyhow, average goal of 2,250 calories. And so we're going to give one kind of maintenance / medium day. This is going to be a day where, you know, I've got kind of like a middle amount of activity. Like, for example, a Thursday for me, it's going to be a work day, and it's going to be a fairly busy work day, but not quite what Monday through Wednesday is like. So I'm going to make that my medium day. That's going to be 2,250. Okay. On the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is going to be my low day. We're going to drop that down to 1,500 calories. Now that is definitely low for a person like me, but I'm going to continue to hit 200 grams of protein. And so the rest of the calories are going to come from carbs and fats. Not really super particular at this point about that, because I'm still going to be eating my fruits and vegetables, and that's just going to allow me to, you know, kind of naturally fall in a healthy range of carbs, fats, and proteins. And it should allow me to lose still fairly significant weight on the weekend. And then we're going to take our Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and make that our high day. We're going to go up to 3,000 calories. So if you add up those days, you're going to find that the average over the course of a week is 2,250, 2,250. So I feel like that's still putting me in a fat loss scenario. I know that I use my Fitness Pal, so when I put in 3,000 calories and I complete my diary, it tells me if you ate like this every day for 5 weeks, this is how much you would weigh. So when it tells me that I'm going to lose weight over the course of 5 weeks at eating 3,000 calories every day, that tells me that I should be able to both lose fat, but also kind of stimulate my metabolism, because we've been eating low calories. We've been eating the 2,200 and lower for the 7+ weeks. About 8 weeks was our last weigh-in, so we have come quite a far way. When we started this challenge, we were at 272, and my highest weight this year is 280. I think 280 even, 282, somewhere in that range. And so there's been major weight loss, and the good news is, after having a little bit of a diet break, I now can go into my 12 weeks fully committed, knowing that, hey, I'm not going to be eating really any sort of crap. And if I do have anything, I'm going to be fitting it in by a lot of calories. One thing that I'm doing to give myself a little bit more, you know, taste and flavor, if you guys have ever heard of the cocoa covered almonds, I mean, they're pretty much, they dust them with cocoa, dark chocolate, etc. It's pretty much the same calories as a normal almond, but you get the flavor of the chocolate and the cocoa, and that's a big difference maker. I will say you have to be careful. You gotta weigh those, in my opinion. You know, you don't want to just start snacking on them because, boy, it's, you know, they're easy to consume and they're high calories. So my high days, I'm going to be putting in the almonds. I'm going to be putting in like whole grains such as toast. I also have some like protein pancakes that I can utilize. Now also thinking about the rest of the family, you know, my little one, Paul Jr., he eats pretty much what we eat. So if I'm eating eggs every single day, I mean, he's gonna probably be like, come on, Dad, like seriously, every single day. And I know for me, ultimately, even I'm not gonna want to eat that every single day for the rest of my life. So we're gonna utilize the high days to get some different kinds of, you know, protein pancakes or French toast, stuff like that. Still gonna be on the healthier side. We're gonna use the very low calorie syrup. You know, we're going to use the higher quality breads and pancake mixes. And that way we're going to get some variety. Junior's going to be happy because he's not going to be eating the same thing every day. And that's going to allow me some variety in my diet, which I feel like I'm ready for. So we've got 12 weeks ahead, fat loss. Got a trip in about a month. Gonna go do some swimming, some boating, stuff like that. So I want to be in the best shape I've been in years, okay? When I was in my personal training years, about 12 plus years ago, probably more at this point, I got down to 200 pounds. My methods, though, were not really maintainable with the amount of exercise I was doing. My goal this time around is to make something that's maintainable, and that's why you will see me sometimes change things around. It's for variety and it's for like long-term suitability. Like, I don't want to wake up 2 months, 2 years from now doing the same thing and feeling like it's a chore. Like, I want it to be something I look forward to. And for today, having some higher calories, even though legitimately I'm really just adding some almonds and some basic things, you know, but it gets you excited. And if you can lose weight while consuming those things, you're going to be far better off than someone that is so strict that they won't allow themselves to have anything. Just my opinion, not true for everyone, but for me, someone that has been dieting off and on for years, it's just time to like kind of hit the nail on the head and really have success that we carry on into the year's future, not something that's short term. So we're going to use these 12 weeks. I aim to lose anywhere from 24 down to 12 pounds, 1 to 2 pounds a week. I feel like I should still be able to do that, even though we're getting further into the journey here. And that's why I'm kind of imploring the high calories, low calories. We'll let you know next weigh-in how we feel about it. We're going to stick to this for a little while without changing anything. We may adjust it slightly, you know, if we're like, oh, you know, we're not losing as much during the week. We may lower the week and raise the weekend a little bit, but we'll let the numbers kind of tell us that and see how we feel. Feeling really good. Woke up doing the exercise in the morning. Gonna sprinkle in a little bit of cardio just as like means to improve the program. Haven't really done any cardio up until this point, but we have an exercise bike downstairs, and I plan on using it. And you know, here's the feeling continually better, getting in better shape. You know, we're in what I like to call uncharted territory. You know, I've never, when I was younger, never envisioned 2024, 2025. This is beyond what my young imagination foresaw. So we're getting to a point where our future is what we make it. And if I want to live a healthy lifestyle where I feel great, we're going to make sure and do the things necessary to have success and, you know, bring happiness long, healthy life. That's what we're looking to do. So thanks for listening. That's our update. We'll be back at it here shortly. We're going to weigh in on Saturday. So if we can get to a new low, we're going to be fully on track and starting our 12 weeks off on the right foot. So thanks for listening. As usual, guys, comment, subscribe, like. Makes a big difference when people give a little bit of feedback. So have a great day. Enjoy the work week. Peace.